Good day, subscribers, speculators, and investors. It's James Qantas, editor and publisher of Resource Opportunities, the investment newsletter. And the topic of this short video is insider buying and selling, which is a factor that I track quite closely and write about in the newsletter. And I track insider buying and selling using a couple different websites. One of those is CEO.ca. So on the main homepage here of CEO.ca is the Insiders tab, which takes you to a running tally, a real-time tally, basically, of insider buys and sells by company, who's doing what and at what prices. I also use inkresearch.com, which is a subscription-based service. They also run CanadianInsider.com. And fun fact, I used to actually write the Power Player and Power Prospector blogs for Ink Research years ago. And the subject of this video certainly qualifies as a power player. He is Andre Gaumond. So Mr. Gaumond is a Quebec-based exploration geologist. His company, Virginia Gold Mines, found gold in James Bay, Quebec, an area where most people didn't think there was any gold. He found quite a bit, and his company, Virginia Gold Mines, sold for $420 million US to Goldcorp. So a very good win for Mr. Gaumond and his shareholders. When he sold that company, he did something interesting, and that's to spin out a royalty on the Eleanor gold deposit. And he put that into a new company called Virginia Mines. And years later, Virginia Mines sold also for about $420 million US to Osisko Gold Royalties. And the Eleanor royalty became one of two flagships in Osisko, along with the Malartic royalty. And Newmont Goldcorp continues to mine the Eleanor deposit. So, well over $1 billion in shareholder value created with those two transactions, established Mr. Gaumond's reputation and fortune. And he still remains active in the mining business, although he retired from Osisko Gold Royalties in 2016. One of the boards that he sits on is a base metals royalty company called Altius Minerals. So I noticed back in early February that Mr. Gaumond began to purchase shares in Altius in the public market. So this is a 6-month chart of the stock. So these are actually share buybacks by the company. And here's Mr. Gaumond's first purchase at 10.50 on February 4. Now, one thing to remember when you're looking at insider buying and selling is insiders often tend to be early. And Mr. Gaumond certainly was here. The stock continued to fall, and he continued to buy. In March, we hit COVID and its impact on markets and the global economy, particularly the base metals outlook. So he continued to buy all the way down into the 6s, and then also as the stock began to rebound. So in less than 3 months, Mr. Gaumond spent more than $240,000 on buying Altius shares in the public market, which I found interesting. Now you can see that he wasn't the only one. There's also a pretty strong insider commitment at Altius. So about Altius, the company is based in Newfoundland. It's like I said, base metals royalty company run by CEO Brian Dalton. A very strong management team, and they have long life royalty assets in copper, nickel, cobalt, and iron ore. Now, one interesting catalyst that Altius has coming up is they've been pivoting out of thermal coal and into renewable energy royalties, wind and solar. And the CEO, Brian Dalton, thinks there's going to be a lot of opportunities there as the energy sector pivots to cleaner forms of energy. There's a lot of money chasing investments like renewable energy royalties, and that's a potential spin out that could create value for Altius shareholders. So a gold legend who made his name and his fortune selling a couple of great gold assets in Quebec. Here we are heading into a precious metals bull market, and he was loading up on shares in a base metals royalty. So I found that interesting, and I wrote about that in my newsletter. Thanks for watching. Please, if you like this video, please subscribe, like it, and consider subscribing to my newsletter as well. It's pretty cheap for now. It's $299 US for 1 year and $449 US for a 2-year subscription.